you doing? Swallow's going down a little bit. I still got a little bit of a Who face. As in Horton Hears a Who or the Grinch. I love it. I love Dr. Seuss. Okay, so I was saying, my daughter is my best friend in the whole fucking world. And she's still my daughter, okay? It's okay to have a relationship that's close with your daughter. She's an adult, so why would I keep her at arm's length or keep her out of things? Or she's very important to me, and it's her income, her input, not income, her input matters to me. What she says matters to me. She and I always like to laugh because our comfort to me when she was young, I'd play Step Brothers a lot. And I play that because that movie's very similar to my life in a lot of ways. The way that, he's like some loser. Anyway, but the brothers had the same relationship as my brother and I. And one of the things the guy says is, goes, the stories. I always had the stories, so we always laugh, and she's like, you got to do one about Fancy, and I was like, okay. So we were talking about what I should say, and she started having nightmares about what Fancy has done with her, so I was like, I got to wait on the stories. The story. Okay, but it's been a minute, so I'm going to do it. Okay. My mother. A little background on Fancy. She's a redheaded stepchild, literally. Her mom and her dad are both diehard alcoholic, abusive personalities. My grandfather's last name literally was White, and he had red hair, and he was Irish and Welsh English. And my grandmother, she was just beautiful, but she, her mom got pregnant with her when she was 14, so she didn't have a good relationship. My mom's mom, being an alcoholic and all, she got married 3 times, so she doesn't even have a full sister or anything. My mom doesn't have a full sister. My grandma being that way, nobody told me, by the way, my entire life until the last 10 years I found this stuff out. And my grandma wrapped her car around a tree, tried to kill herself. She was involved with one of the Naples brothers, which is a big crime syndicate in Youngstown between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and she was involved with him for 8 years. I had no idea. I always knew I had some strong kind of something going on, but I didn't really know. I just felt it. I've always felt like that. I've always felt seriously, if I feel like I might have been in the mafia and killed. I could be Al Capone. We don't know who I am. I got big dick energy. Anyway, so she didn't have a perfect childhood, but she had a good one. Her biggest brag is that they were the first ones in their neighborhood to have a color TV. It's a big deal back then. My grandfather, her father, who I never met until I was 10 because they didn't talk. He was a Navy man. POW, I think. I know he had Purple Heart, for sure. I know that. Because it was hung up in our house. So I knew about that. He's a good man, okay? And he's just a great man in general, but he had his own demons. You cannot fight in a war and come home okay and everybody don't you fucking act like it's not okay. So yeah, of course you're going to drink and have problems and act out and be an asshole. So that's what he was. And then so they didn't talk. And then her second father was Italian, and the third one was Irish. So it's just the way it was. She never really felt special. She was never really the chosen one, but she succeeded in school, not with grades, but with class humor, and she was a class clown. She still talks about it. She peaked in high school, and that's that. Here I find out she got married right after high school and destroyed all the evidence, and I never knew about that until like 10 years ago or so. I can't even explain the way she and I are. She told me we were best friends, that she loved me more than anything, and it was us against the world. She's also, a couple Mother's Days ago, told me that I was an accident and she didn't want children. So, once my brother was born, the tables turned, everything changed. This is her mentality because of how things were for her. Her and her sisters are 7 years apart. Her youngest sister is only 10 years older than me, 11 years. That's that. So she either looks at me in a lot of ways like a little sister, or maybe like a mini version of herself that she wasn't. I don't know. But my brother, I loved my brother more than anything in the whole fucking world. And there was nothing I cared about more than my brother. And my brother, I protected him a lot. He probably doesn't know that, but I did. And she used to beat the shit out of him like she did me, but she really beat the shit out of him. She'd pull him like out of McDonald's screaming, out of swimming pool screaming, out of mall screaming, Kmart screaming. Beat the fuck out of him in the car, beat the fuck out of me in the car. Like, she's an asshole. She'd run around with curlers in her hair and a girdle screaming, like going bananas and crazy, and get in the car and drive to church, jerking the wheel all over the place, screaming, hitting us in the back seat with like fucking, you know, like paddles and spoons or whatever she could find. What's so fucking serious like that? What the fuck is so bad in your fucking life that you gotta treat your kids like that? Who the fuck are you to do this when you're a dick around like that on kids? I'm a mom now, and this irritates the living fuck out of me because I never did that. My kids are best friends, and my kids don't treat each other. I have a problem with my brother, and it has a lot to do with my mom. I'm going to tell you this. One time, I always wanted a dog. My mom somehow ended up with a dog, a puppy, and it was like Benji, the movie, had just come out, and it was a big deal, and it was a little dog, and she named it Muffin, which I would never ever fucking name. I think I was like, I want to say like 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9, around there. She comes and grabs me out of bed. I mean, I was asleep, which was rare because I didn't sleep well. I had anxiety and I was afraid at night. She came and grabbed me out of bed, ripped me the fuck out of bed. I was wearing a Holly Hobby gown. And I had long brown hair. She grabbed me by the hair, you know, shit, dragged me out there. She threw me across the room. She goes, "Get him! Get her! Get her!" She's like screaming. She's a screamer. Like, you know, on Christmas Story, we hear that, like, yeah, 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 yeah. That's how my mom screams. So she was like screaming, 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 screaming. I don't know how my brother slept through this. My dad wasn't there. My dad worked graveyard shift, so it's just us at night. Every night, it's just us. Like, I'm shit out of luck if something goes wrong. It's me and my mom and my brother. So, she's flipping the fuck out. She took the couches and she went whoosh. She threw the couch to the other side of the room, and that dog went underneath that, woo, all the way to the other side of the room. This went on for like a half an hour, her screaming and flipping the fuck out and screaming, and she's just going bananas. I finally got she's screaming at me too. Like, hop to it, do it, you know, like one of those things. So it was like really stressful. We get the dog out, she lets it back in, it shits on the floor, it starts all over again. So it was like bad. She did shit like that. When I was a little girl, I was sneaky. I was, okay? I didn't like the way she moves. I didn't like it. Because what she would do is she would like kind of do stuff where it was like everything was a condition. Anyway, so she told me to clean my room, and like a little kid, you know, I was like 4, and I put my clothes, all the clothes in the laundry basket because I was 4, and I didn't fold them. And first of all, if you're not shown how to do things and you're just told how to do things, you don't know how to do them then, do you? So she came in and she goes, what? What? And she took out the laundry basket, dumped it on the floor, all over, pulls all the drawers out, dumps those on the floor, the clean stuff, pushes me over, grabs me by the ankles, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Jamming my head on the ground, jamming my head on the ground. She throws me in the closet, throws all the clothes of the closet on me, slams that fucking door, goes to my actual bedroom door and takes the knob out of the door. So I can't even hold on. Once I get out of the closet, I can't even get out of the room now. She's got it, so I can't even move a fucking doorknob. That's at 4 years old. Every time I think about it, I get so mad. Her friends were more important than me at all times, including as well as my brother. My brother did get better treatment than I did for some reason. I think it's easier for her to like him because he was a boy instead of me. I'm everything that she hates about herself, so she has to hate me. According to me, according to her, with me, she's king shit. She's the best person on the fucking planet. She does me all the favors. First of all, I'm not allowed in the room as a child. I'm not allowed in the room if my mom's talking on the phone, if my mom has a friend over, or if my mom is cooking, my mom is ironing, or my mom is breathing. I'm not allowed in that room. Do you understand me? If my mom's watching TV, I'm not allowed to speak. That's just the way it is. She had a thing with church where she got obsessed with church. Also, she had to be a born-again Christian. Put me in all this stupid fucking church shit where I had some molesters and shit fucking come after me, laying on the floor with this sign of the guy, like God's coming back to her. Anyway, all that shit. She decides that she's best friends with the girl who's popular in the choir and decides that girl's going to have my bedroom. I had to share my bedroom with a grown woman who was a single grown woman. And my dad somehow agreed to this. I don't know how the fuck this happens. In a 3-bedroom house where all of a sudden we got a grown woman living with us, who, by the way, she doesn't like me being in her room. We got to get another house. There's not enough room for her. So I have to switch schools. I had to switch schools because my mom's best friend didn't like sharing a room with me. She'd have beautiful jewelry and stuff. She had all this stuff, and I'd sneak through it and look through it. I just was fascinated. Nobody showed me anything, so I wanted to. Why would I ask? First of all, they don't even talk to you, so why the fuck am I going to ask? Her ring came up missing, and here, like, this girl around the corner that, was friends with, she stole it, and they blame me. Anything something went missing, I got blamed. I did not steal from my family, okay? I didn't steal from my mom's friends. I'm the first one they blame, and she would my mom really made it like me. And then it would turn out it wasn't me. Where's all the hoopla when it was me? Where's all that? Where's all that hype? She'd make all these plans with me all the fucking time, and act like she's gonna make up for all this fucking abuse she does. And she'd say, I'm going to take you to go eat Chinese. I'm going to take you to go eat Chinese. I'm going to take you over and over and over again. She just cancels and cancels and cancels and cancels. And then if she does ever take me, she'll talk on the phone. She sold cell phones in the early 90s. She was the very first person to do it. She wouldn't even fucking talk to me. She goes, shh. She doesn't want me to talk to her. So she canceled all these times. And this is what people don't get. My mom will go to the store, the mall, pick one place she's got a credit card for, say Learners, New York, whatever. Max out that card. This is what she does. She'll get the same, different colors of the same style shirt, different colors of the same style pants, a bunch of shoes I don't fucking like that she likes, a bunch of other shit that she fucking likes that I don't like, and put it all out on my fucking bed. That happened like 4 times in my life, where she has given me over $500, $600 worth of clothes, put it all out on my fucking bed, and I better be fucking grateful. I better wear it. Why? Why would I do that? First of all, my dad's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? She's hiding it from my father the whole time. I don't want 7 button-down shirts in pastel colors, okay? That's not even my style. Why would you even do that? I used to actually put a lot of time and effort into my look all the fucking time. I used to go to the store and get Wet n Wild nail polish. It was 25 cents a bottle back then. Now it's $1.25 I think now. It was 25 cents a bottle. I had every fucking color, bitch. I had white, red, blue, purple, you name it, sparkles, blah, blah, blah. I did that. If I wore a striped shirt, I had straight nails. I did that shit way before. I told you, I set the trends. I did that shit way back in the day when I was running, basically, a club in my basement, charging my friends for Pop-Tarts and fucking disco lights. Whatever, man. I had roller disco in my basement. She makes me mad. She makes me mad. She'd always just put down my dad all the time. She'd call me my dad's name like it's an insult. You know, through the years, you know, I dated this boy. He was killed, and it was a bad situation. He ruined the car that she put my... God, she made me drive this stupid fucking car. High payment. $375. When she got there and saw that car, and the cops were there, and the ambulance was there, and all this shit, and all the broken glass, and everything with the car, she took out a gun. She had a little gun this big, and she put it to my head. She goes, "Listen, you stupid fucking asshole, I got 2 fucking bullets, one's for you and one's for him." She put that thing back in her pocket, and a cop came over, and he's like, you gotta calm down, ma'am." She just kept screaming and screaming, man. He shut her the fuck down. Fast forward, she still has that gun, right? I had been, now through the years, my son's an adult at this point. I had already been homeless, and some terrible fucking shit happened to me when I was homeless. When I got out of being homeless, this guy tried to kill me. Before he did, he had me in a car driving erratically. Now, my mother did that my whole life. This guy's black as night. Fucking 9 digits of all his 8, 9 prison numbers. He's got a gun. He's driving erratically. He's trying to make me hit my head on the window. He's telling me he's gonna kill me. He's waving the gun around. I'm calm as a cucumber, bitch, because guess what? I grew up with fucking fancy. So play another song, honey. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck back. You can't even compete with this bitch. Like, I know you're a murderer and a drug dealer and all that shit, but get in line, sissy. Because Fancy raised me, and I'm no fucking, like, I'm ready for you. Like, you can't even fucking try me in the car like that at that point, because I just looked at him like, so? He goes, when all said and done, he parked the car, he goes, you don't seem scared. I go, I grew up with Fancy, bitch. You got nothing on her. He goes, all right then. And we just act like nothing, just like I did with Fancy. So, like, so fast forward, my son's growing up. I have to stay with her for like I made a deal. First of all, when I was literally murdered, I was murdered with fentanyl. I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew he was going to hurt me. I knew something was going to happen. I begged my mom. I called her up and I said, listen, something bad's going to happen. I need help. Can I please stay with you? She's like, I really don't have time for this right now. I've got a life and I've got stuff to do, and maybe next weekend. And I was like, I'm really serious. Like, I don't ask for anything, please. And just because she gives me shit or throws shit in my face, that's for show. You know that, right? That's for show. It's not a real... Most of the time it's stuff that she bought for herself and decided it's not the best version of that, and she'll give me the shit version and get the better version. So I begged her. She said no. I ended up being murdered. I don't know how I lived through it. I think an angel came and saved me. But so I literally died. While I was dying, she had my ex-husband, my children, and her sisters at her house, and they were having a dinner together and having fun. My ex-husband and children live an hour and a half away from her. So did I, because I only lived 10 minutes away from my ex-husband. Imagine that. Dying in the ghetto. No, find out later your whole family was having a good fucking time. and you're dying. And you ask for help. And no one's helping you. So, this is after that stuff. She takes out that fucking gun. She knows my son likes guns. He's in the military, he was. She put the gun in my son's hands, grips it around the gun, and she goes, good, now I got your prints on the gun when I kill your mom. And I said, what did you just say? I go, listen, now I understand this is your house, I understand that. And now I don't snap on my mom like this as much as I want to all the time. She thinks I do. She's fucking way off. 95% of the time I keep my fucking mouth shut. I go, listen, I am his mother. He's an adult. You just put a weapon in my son's hand, put his fingerprints on it, and said you're gonna fucking shoot me? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're supposed to ask permission to even talk to my son like that. I don't give a fuck if we're sitting in your house. I don't care what's going on. Like, who does that? Why would you do that? And not only that, but I clean her house all the fucking time, okay? She'll hire meth heads and crack addicts, and I know they are, and I tell her that. Because I've seen these people. Once you live in that environment and you see how these people function and how people act like that, you'll spot them a mile away. You'll see it, you'll know it. I mean, shit, if you worked in the yacht industry and you hang out with yacht people, you'll know a rich bitch when you see one. It's the same shit. I just cannot fucking, I will cook, bring food to her all the time. Do you know how many times my mom has come to my house since I have lived in the same fucking city with, we're 10 minutes apart. Less than 10 times, less than 5 times, probably 5 times, and I've invited her every fucking time. Every fucking time. So she gets this phone a couple of years ago, an iPhone, and she decides, I don't like it, it's scratched, whatever. She tries to send it back, they refuse it, okay? So, you know, in the meantime, I've gone through homelessness, I've gone through all this shit. In the meantime, she's telling everybody, oh, you know, it's just some weird off random facts, so it comes off like she's some kind of angel. Somehow, guess what? Nobody was there. Nobody was fucking there. Even when I got a divorce, she chose him. I don't even fucking want to hear it. I remember when I was homeless, I went down to the library because everybody would have sex in the library. I found out later, which was gross, but I was in the library and I'm looking, you know, like I would try to get work or look for something or try to get some kind of education, try to do something with my fucking life. I'm homeless in Cleveland. And I looked on Facebook, and there she was celebrating her birthday with the cake and all kinds of shit. And I'm thinking, you fucking bitch, man. You fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. I'm out here, homeless, because she talked me out of living in government housing because I think it was embarrassing for her. And when I lived with her, she decided she really didn't like me after all, which I told her before I did that. Once I lost that housing, she kicked me out of her house the same week. The same week. Then I couch surfed for a year, because you have to actually go into a shelter. Being the white bitch I am with the rusted bitch face, I know that I will not do well in any situation like that. I got a low bullshit demeanor. I'm not putting up with anybody's shit. I know you as soon as I see you. I see your soul. You know that. And that's a real big problem for a lot of people. And if I got your number and you're not comfortable with yourself, you're going to have a real problem with me right off the bat. And I know it too. And I'm going to throw down just like everybody else. So I can't. And there I am in that situation. I see her having a good time on her birthday. And ain't that a bitch? I'm in a fucking homeless shelter, almost about to get my ass beat in like 3 days, you know, dragged from here to there all over the place by a 20-year-old black girl with 4 children who has sex in the library every day, and she ends up kicking my ass. And I'll tell you what, man, I took that ass beating too, because the rule was I couldn't hit her back, but I did throw soup in her face and tell her to go fuck herself. So make a pie, eat a pie, you know, you make your choices. Anyway, point is, so I was homeless. Here's another fucking thing. Listen to this fucking shit. Me being in the ghetto, I had a Great Dane. I loved my dog. I named her Ziva. She was Ziva Mona Lisa Saperstein Rosenberg. And I loved her very, very much. And I said, Mom, you know, you really don't want me to come live with you. First of all, you don't like me. Number one. She goes, oh, I go, number two, I have a dog. You hate animals. As I told you, the muffin story, you know that. Okay, she's a psycho with the animals. She hates animals, especially a big, gigantic Great Dane. A big one. And I was like, you're not going to like Ziva. First of all, when I had to move back into her house, she wanted me to live across the room. I don't want to live across the room from her, okay? She comes in my room a lot. She'll come running in my room and attack me when I'm sleeping, when I'm laying down. One time she did that it was after my dad died. She started drinking. I never really saw my mom drink but once when I was a kid. She screamed at everybody, fell backward, knocked over the Christmas tree, told everybody to go fuck themselves. It was Christmas. That was the only memory I have of her drinking. Another time was like after my dad died. I was home. I fucked up. You know, my boyfriend wrecked my apartment. I lost my car, all that shit. I got a DUI, all this shit. I'm home. I'm working like 14-hour days. I'm screaming out orders in my sleep. I'm exhausted. She comes in my room. Once again, I am laying down. She comes up like right in my face. You piece of, you know, starts telling me you know, she's really poking me. I'm dead fucking asleep. She's downstairs with her friend laughing, having a good time, talking shit about me, who's working 14-hour days at a culinary school. I go, Mom, really get out of here. I never swore anything in front of my mom, ever. Like, I'm respectful. Anyway, what good does that do? She's like going fucking bonkers. She's fucking with me. She's fucking with me now. I want you to understand something. When you work in a kitchen, you don't eat that much. You're on the go. You're on your feet all day long. You are just hustle, 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 hustle. My arm is going like this all day. My hands are going like that. I am working all day long. I've got arms of steel by the time I'm out of that fucking place. I'm very strong. I can pick up very heavy things. Bags of potatoes, sacks of carrots that are 50 pounds, 100-pound boxes. I'm strong. I'm strong as fuck, okay? And not only am I strong, I'm hillbilly strong, so I'm like double, I'm like retard strength. You can't even fucking get near this shit. So she's like, I stood up, I go, I sat up for a second, I go, I swear to God, get out of here. I swear to God, get out of here. She goes, you ruined my life, you know that? You look like him too. And, you know, she's going in on my dad, she's going in on me, she's just telling me how she hates me, and yeah. I can hear a drunk bitch friend downstairs laughing, it's this high cackle. I got up, I push her, you know, the edge of like a bedroom armoire, right in between her spine, right in between the little chicken blades there. I got her good. She goes, like tears start coming down her. Like she like, it was like, look away, I'm hideous. It's like she has slumped out of the room. Bitch, I shook her, I rang her bell. I shut that door. I kicked her out. I fucking shut that door on her. I like kicking in the door. I kicked it shut. So I was like, don't come back in. So now, I haven't talked to her for a while because, you know, she doesn't tell me when terrible things happen, and it makes me look like the family asshole. When my dad's best friend died, same name, same everything, one of my dearest people in my whole fucking life. When he died, I was in New York. She didn't tell me he died. She didn't tell me for a month and a half that he died, and my other best friend died in a motorcycle accident within the same month. I used to almost live at his house after my dad died, and he would have me sleep over all the time and watch movies with me and his new wife, and he took me in like a daughter, and he was very, very important to me. And the fact that she didn't tell me that he died, and I missed his funeral, and I didn't call his wife when she died, what's that make me look like? Do you know that she went to the funeral? So, last year my brother had a heart attack and was life-flighted. Nobody fucking told me. Then, I'm at work. I'm working for some crazy fucking nursery with meth addicts and crackheads everywhere. I'm already fucked up in the head from being in that environment with all these losers. I can see it a mile away. I've seen all this. It's going. I'm like, oh my God. My aunt made me get the job. I had just gotten fired on Mother's Day for screaming at some kids who were standing in the way. They were standing in the way. They were just in the way. They were in the way. I was like, I walked through. I was waiting tables. I'm a lifer. I fucking hustle. These 3 kids are like 14, 15, standing in the middle of where you run through for drinks. And I kept asking them to move and asking them to move. Finally I went, oh! And like the whole place went, oh! You know, she's like, ah! And she lost her shit and fired me. So I'm fired on Mother's Day. Then I got to go ask for all the bills to be paid and still stand there and count out money and tears streaming down my... So my aunt, nobody believes I'm bipolar in my family, by the way. Nobody will give... Everybody thinks I'm using the system. They think I'm milking the system for SSD. They think I'm using food stamps and living on the government, on the hog off of their tax money. And nobody believes me that I'm bipolar. Nobody believes that I have anxiety, even though through the years it's been fucking obvious. I've been molested. I have been raped. I have been abducted. I have been in shelters. I have been jumped. I have been murdered. And nobody fucking wants to hear it. So, okay. So, oh my God, man, every time I think about it. So I had this dog, Ziva. And my mom one day, all of a sudden, it was one of her strikes before she got me all the way out of her house. This was one. First of all, I went downstairs and I revamped her whole basement. I painted the entire thing. I took out all the black mold. I pulled up the carpeting. I painted it. I decorated it with trees. I put up disco bulbs. I made it real campy and sweet and cute and artsy and sweet and fun. And so my kids could come downstairs. I set up an area so they could play games. And I set up another area so they could do that. Like, I made it nice, okay? This fucking bitch had a problem with me sitting in the basement because she wanted to know what I was doing, and she kept accusing me of drinking, and I wasn't drinking, but she kept accusing me of drinking, and she was drinking. So I eventually like started drinking too. So I was like, it got bad there. It got real bad there. She's like, you got to get rid of Ziva. You got to get rid of. I went all over Facebook. I wasn't a Facebook person at the time. I went all over Facebook. I'm all over everything. I called every fucking shelter. I called Humane Society. I called this. I called that. I go on every website. I'm begging people. Nobody helped me. Finally, she's like, I'm going to kick you out and you're going to be homeless. And that's a big fear, you know. Like, you don't want to be homeless. I'm already divorced. I already had a big fight with everybody on Mother's Day again. I've never had a good Mother's Day in my entire life. Not once. So it just was like, it was bad, man. My brother fucking slapped me in front of my kids. I threw all the ribs on the floor. Like, it was a shitty day. And like, so now I have to get rid of Ziva. I was driving her. I called up a place and I said I found a dog in the woods and I have a cat and I have children, and I took her home and she got along well with everybody, but my husband won't let me keep her. I'm bringing her in. I said, okay. That's how I had to do it. My brother is a big animal advocate. He knows everybody around here that does anything with animals at all. His wife is very into everything. They're both extremely into everything. Like grooming, raising dogs. They go state to state. Like, they're serious people when it comes to animals. I was listening to, what's this song? Ziva's faces. Flaming Lips. Her face was out the window, and that song came on like, you have the most beautiful face. And I was just like, no, like, I don't want to take her. And I had to take her and drop her off on a shelter. She had kisses all over. I'm crying. I got snot all over me. She wouldn't get out of the car. The people are all trying to wrangle her. Here my brother goes behind my back. In his version, it's not behind my back. In his version, he's saving me from getting arrested because it's a felony. And we're both right. But here's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm outside washing my mom's car because I'm her bitch. I'm her ninja. I'm that nigga to ride on at her house. I'm that bitch. I'm gonna help. I'm out there washing her car like a fucking bitch. And I hear my dog barking. I hear Ziva. My brother lives a street over from my mom. They're fucking butt buddies. She wouldn't watch my kids. She watches all 3. I can't even get into it like that. I hear my dog, and I said to my mom, I go, I hear Ziva. She goes, oh, stop it. What is wrong with you? Just finish what you're doing. You know what? Forget it. Put everything down. Just forget it, Amy. You can't do anything anyway. You screw everything up. Blah, blah, blah. Like 2 days later or something like that, I get a phone call from fucking North Carolina. My uncle's girlfriend says, "Hey, did you know that Ziva is at your brother's house? And he's had her for weeks." My mom overheard her talking. She starts on with that screaming, "Yo, heal up. She's going fucking crazy. They, behind my back, my brother had my dog and nobody fucking told me. So when they did hear the dog and she gaslighted me and told me I was crazy, it was my dog. Then my brother never told me where the dog was and won't let me see the dog. You know why? Because it'll upset the dog. My mom calls me, and she didn't even call me. She texted me like last week. She says, "I'm selling the phone. I need the phone back." This is the phone that she didn't want, and when she gave me, she offered to pay for a line for me because I was cleaning her house and doing things for her. So don't even act like I wasn't. Of course I was. And I always do that, and she'll pay me because I think she wants to tell people she pays me, and obviously I need the money. But come on. It really is one of those things. She gets like even like a check from my grandpa, like, because they're all hillbillies, so they got like oil something. It's only like 100 something. One time she goes, "Now this will be yours from now on when I die. You know that, right? This will be yours." So this is my better girl. She goes, "This will be yours." She goes like this, and I go again. She goes, "Now Amy, this could be yours. You got to handle it right." It was like $113 or $83 once a month, and that's how she treated me. And she took it back when she didn't like the way I was acting one day. So now she calls me up out of the blue and she wants a phone. She's going to offer to pay for another line for me. What the fuck? So now out of the blue, I got to buy a brand new phone and pay for a brand new line. So it's been a hard ride. And those are just some weird things about Fancy. I've gone on long enough. I'm angry as fuck about her. I don't like the way she treats me, and I'm not going to ever deal with that again. And some people might say, "Hey, that's not nice. You shouldn't do that. That's your mom." Fuck her.